we're talking today about investment banks and money managers. These are the people who manage investments. Investing used to be more of an individual thing. It still is for some people, but more increasingly there's an intermediary between you and your investment. Well, of course, I'm talking not about commercial banks or regular banks, but investment banks and other kinds of intermediaries like mutual fund managers, ETFs, exchange-traded fund managers, etc. So this is the reality of the modern world, and I thought we need to talk about it for this course. So we'll start with investment banks. So what do investment banks do? They traditionally do not accept deposits. They're not members of the Federal Reserve System. There's no FDIC insuring them. Well, they don't even have deposits. But what they do instead of, and so commercial banks take deposits and make loans. Investment banks don't take deposits and don't make loans, but in fact they underwrite securities. What does it mean to underwrite a security? It means you're the guy that companies go to, or nonprofits, or even governments go to, when they want to raise money, and they do it with you as like a broker intervening. To underwrite a security means to manage the process of issuing new shares in companies or issuing debt for companies or, as I said, for other organizations. Now, just to give some names, the term bulge bracket, I looked it up on Ngrams. It only goes back to the 1980s, so it's not huge old. But the bulge bracket firms are the big firms. First Boston, but they're gone. They're mostly not pure investment banks anymore. So First Boston, actually it was an outgrowth of the National, I think it's called the National Bank of Boston, but it became a investment bank in New York, big time. But it was acquired by a Swiss bank, Credit Suisse. Goldman Sachs was, until the financial crisis of 2008, was a investment bank. It was forced by regulation to become a bank holding company. And so now they're regulated as a bank, and they might as well accept deposits. So they are. In fact, there was news last year that Goldman Sachs had bought $16 billion of deposits from General Electric, the financial arm of General Electric. So they are now a bank. You can deposit money in Goldman Sachs. I don't know if it's up and running yet, but they don't have corner offices, or ATM machines. So they're not really in what you think of as a commercial bank. But they're not a pure investment bank either. So they have an investment banking division.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Professor, you discussed a lot about how the business of investment banking are heavily based on people's trust, and I used to be an investment banker. I totally echo that. I'm just wondering about your opinion on how about the current stature of the investment banks, after the financial crisis, and how do you think they can improve their public image?
Well, I think investment bankers have a better public image than undertakers. Every occupation has its public attitude. So actually, I don't think people are overall extremely negative. Movies about investment bankers are usually very negative, right? They're usually criminals, practically. But if you have one living next door, you probably don't, because he lives in the rich neighborhood. So but if you did, you'd probably think he's an okay guy. He or she is an okay person. So I think there's something about, the way I view it is that finance is an important technology. Many people don't view it this way. It's not about shifting papers around and making obscure deals that exclude someone else. It's about making things happen. So any good activity has to be financed. And when you get people together to do something important, they start worrying. They have risks that they're concerned about, and they're wondering, is this for me or not? Or maybe I'm out of here. Maybe they'll do a cynical job as an employee. So you have to incentivize people. You have to protect them from risks. And that's, we are living in an age of financial capitalism. Now, it may create inequality and problems like that, but it also creates the tremendous growth, economic growth that we've been seeing around the world since in the last half century, particularly when there was greater appreciation of finance. So I think that there is mistrust and hostility sometimes, but especially after the financial crisis recently. But I think it's manageable. One shouldn't not go into finance. I think maybe politicians are lower esteemed than finance people. And that's also an important thing for people to do, and you shouldn't stay away from that one either.